it's Michelle here. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another Chris Watts video. I know some of the people who comment on this channel are saying you're milking Chris Watts and the case is over. Not quite. And this is one of the reasons why I'm continuing to cover it. This is purely speculation. I've no proof that this is occurring. But as we watch officers check the Watts home in September 2018, let's have a chat about the possibility that the 35C that Chris was applying for, and it then came out that he wasn't, that it was all over, well, it could all be back on again. It could never have ended in the first place. So I watched some of Just Larry's live stream last night. It's always very, very late for me, so I never get to the end, time zones and all that. But Larry said that he's 99% confirmed that there has been activity at the Watts home. There were some kind of talks about this. I didn't cover it on this channel because I thought maybe it's just rumours, whatever. But Larry seems to be fairly certain that yes, there has been activity in the Watts home, and that's to do with the attorneys wanting to go in there, and maybe they're trying to collect evidence. I don't know. Larry might be completely wrong, as he said. His source, he didn't disclose the source, his source might be wrong. So we'll just wait and see. But it won't surprise me, let's just put it that way. It wouldn't surprise me if the attorneys have said, look, this media circus that's going on YouTube absolutely has to stop. You know, it could prejudice any case that does come from a successful 35C. Just pretend it's all over. I can understand why they would say that. I can also understand Kim, Revelation in the Reckoning. I mean, I disagree with much of what Kim says, but it is true that she has known the family, she has known the Watts since the very, very earliest days of the case, and she's got to know them. She said in a live, I couldn't possibly tell you which live, or I know it's within the last week or so. I dip in and out of Kim's lives. I couldn't give you a timestamp or anything like that. But she said they stopped the 35C, it was shut down because it was just too much pressure. Chris, when he's overwhelmed, he just shuts down and he just wants it all to go away. And according to Kim, Cindy and Ronnie are the same. Just the pressure's too much. They've got this YouTuber, that YouTuber talking left, right and centre. Let's just shut it down. I could imagine Chris would want to. I think he's comfortable now in Dodge. And the possibility of going back to Colorado, the possibility of violence, and, you know, and he's got a comfortable life now. And yeah, he's in prison for the rest of his life, and rightly so. But Cindy and Ronnie, I can't see them shutting down for very long because they've always wanted Chris to fight. From that regard, it doesn't make sense for them to just shut it down. But to tell everyone that it's shut down, because the attorneys have told them that, absolutely, that makes total sense. So before I close off this video, let's just remind ourselves what a 35C is. When it was new that Chris was going for the 35C, I made a few videos explaining what a 35C is, but I'd still get comments saying, what's a 35C? So let's just lay it out one more time, what a 35C is and how it differs from an appeal. Because Chris pled guilty to all charges. First-degree homicide for the killing of Shanann that he admitted to right from the 15th of August. He took responsibility for the death of Bella and Cece. And then he was also convicted of tampering with dead bodies and the unlawful termination of a pregnancy. Those are his charges, and he pled guilty to all. But people convicted of crimes in Colorado can pursue post-conviction relief in an attempt to vacate their verdicts or sentences. This spells out the ways to the court that the defendant was perhaps denied his or her constitutional rights to a fair trial and sentence. So, after conviction, the defendant has a limited statute of limitation to file a post-conviction relief. The time depends on the type of offence. Chris has got both felonies and Class 1 felonies. He was convicted in November 2018, so he's got until November this year to file a 35C for the felonies. This would be the tampering with dead bodies and the unlawful termination of Nico. So those were the felonies. So he's only got 3 years to do that, right? And his time's ticking. But the Class 1 felonies, so the Class 1 homicides of Shanann, Bella and Cece, he can actually file those any time. But because the felonies themselves have quite a hefty sentence attached to them, then if he's got a hope in hell at all of seeing light and ever outside of prison, then he has that 3-year period to work from. If the court grants a defendant's 35C, the judgment may be to set aside and or the sentence may be lessened or lifted altogether. So there's only a very small amount of grounds that his attorneys can fight for the 35C. It's different from an appeal. The defendant seeks the review, seeks the post-conviction relief from the same court that handled the case. So he'll have to go back to Colorado. It will be the same judge. It's not an appeal. Appealing a sentence to a higher court, you're basically saying, I want a second opinion from a higher court, right? But because he pled guilty, he has no grounds for appeal. So his only opportunity of getting his sentence re-looked at is the 35C. And there's 7 grounds for this. So there's actually only 2 of these the attorneys can possibly have any wriggle room. So that is number 5, that there's new evidence of material facts that could not have been reasonably discovered prior to conviction, or ineffective assistance of counsel. Those are the only 2 where there's possible room for manoeuvre. And the chances of a 35C being granted are minuscule to begin with, because that judge has got to look at the case, look at the new facts that the attorneys bring forward, and then make a decision. And the judge can then just turn around and say, no, they were known at the time of the conviction, or I don't agree that there's been ineffective assistance of counsel, so no chance, go away, Mr. Watts. If the 35C is granted, what would happen? I guess what his attorneys would be looking for is to take it to trial, where they could appeal to the jury on reasonable doubt. It's a slim chance. So we'll just have to wait and see, won't we? Until we hear anything more definite. This is purely and simply speculation. All right, don't run with this and take it as fact. I'm stressing exactly as Larry, stressed as well, that this is not 100% confirmed. Could be completely duff information. Don't run with this, but just bear it in mind. Let me know what you think below. I've been Michelle, and as always, I do hope you're doing well, and I'll see you in the next video.
That security bar was dropped in the back door, so
yeah.
I don't think anybody's gone in.